She's always got that creepy doll with her.
Today we're talking about one of the creepiest and most unforgettable acts in AGT history, Sacred Riana. Most people remember her terrifying illusions and sudden disappearance from the live show, but very few know what actually happened behind the scenes. Here's what most fans still believe, that her quarter-final performance was cut off by accident or censored for being too disturbing, but that's not true. Leaked documents from the AGT production team confirmed that the cut was 100% intentional, planned in advance to boost shock value and make her act go viral. That's the new information, and it changes everything. In this video, I'm going to walk you through her full story, what inspired her haunting persona, how cultural clashes shaped her downfall, and what she's doing now that no one saw coming. She walked on stage dragging a doll, and the entire room went silent. Nobody knew what was coming, but they couldn't look away. When Sacred Riana first showed up on America's Got Talent, you could feel it. The lights dimmed, the air shifted, and suddenly, the crowd wasn't sure if they were watching a magic act or a horror film. Riana didn't just perform, she haunted the stage. With her long black hair covering her face and her trembling hands clinging to that doll, she brought something totally different to the show. Judges leaned back in their chairs, the audience gasped. Some even looked away, but that's not all. Her act wasn't just spooky, it was unforgettable. While most performers smiled and waved, Riana stood still, quiet, mysterious. Her silence made you lean in. Her illusions made you question what was real. And behind it all was a sense of dread, like something bad was about to happen. She didn't just compete, she broke every rule the show had ever seen. And that's just the beginning. She wasn't always this spooky. In fact, she started out like any other kid. But what shaped her was something few people ever saw coming. Before she became Sacred Riana, her real name was Marie Antoinette Riana Graharani. She grew up in Indonesia, attending Catholic school like thousands of other kids. But behind the uniform and books, something unusual was brewing. Her dad was a magician, and not just any magician. He lit the spark. While other kids were playing with dolls or sports, Riana was watching tricks and studying illusions. She became obsessed with the idea of mystery and magic, and more importantly, how to control a room without saying a word. But listen to this. She didn't want to be flashy or glamorous. Instead, she looked to horror films for inspiration. Characters like Sadako from the Ringu movies didn't scream or jump around. They were quiet, creepy, and unforgettable. That's the vibe she chased, and it worked. She trained for years, shaping herself into something new, something people wouldn't forget even if they wanted to. What happened next proved she had built something far bigger than just a spooky persona. One glance at her, and you already feel uneasy, but that's exactly the point. Sacred Riana doesn't perform magic. She creates nightmares you can't look away from. Riana's act isn't built on flashy tricks or sparkly costumes. It's built on tension, silence, and fear. She moves like a glitch in a horror film, jerky, unnatural, and always holding that eerie doll dressed just like her. Her voice, barely audible. She whispers like she's channeling something from another world. When she talks, it feels like a warning, and somehow that's more powerful than yelling could ever be. You can't relax when she's on stage, and maybe that's what makes her so fascinating. But here's where it gets interesting. That awkward silence, that slow stare, that's all intentional. She knows exactly how long to wait before a trick, exactly when to turn her head. It's all part of the illusion. Every detail is planned to make you feel like something is very wrong. While other magicians want applause, she wants goosebumps. And that shift in approach didn't just make her different, it made her unforgettable. And what she did next would push those boundaries even further. Before she ever stepped onto the AGT stage, she had already conquered an entire continent. But most Americans had no idea who she was. Yet, in 2017, Sacred Riana shocked Asia when she joined Asia's Got Talent. People didn't know what to make of her at first. She didn't talk. She didn't smile. She moved like a ghost. But as the weeks went by, something wild happened. Viewers couldn't stop watching. She wasn't just a contestant. She became the show. While other acts faded, she stayed burned into your memory. And then, in a stunning twist, she won the entire competition. But that was only the beginning. Not long after that, she joined other shows like The Next Mentalist, and even became a judge on The Great Magician Show. Her presence was growing, not just on TV, but in real life too. She performed in theaters, collaborated with artists, and even launched her own creepy snack brand with gourmet popcorn. It was clear by now, she wasn't just a magician. She was building a brand around mystery, and what she did next on America's Got Talent would take everything to a whole new level. She walked out, stared straight ahead, and handed Mel B a photo. What happened next had the judges looking over their shoulders. Rihanna's first big moment on America's Got Talent wasn't just weird, it felt cursed. During her audition, she gave Mel B a picture, then laid out several creepy photos of supposed murder victims. Mel B had to choose one. Then, she picked a random name. The name was Bob. And just like that, Rihanna held up an old newspaper that had been blank seconds earlier. Now, it showed Bob's face. And the same image of the victim somehow appeared in Mel B's photo. It was chilling, but it gets crazier. During the judge cuts, Rihanna played with an imaginary friend, blurring the line between illusion and ghost story. She didn't just earn a yes, she skipped ahead straight to the quarterfinals. Judges were freaked out, but also impressed. It wasn't just a trick, it was a performance no one could explain. Every movement, every stare, every flicker of her hand, it was all perfectly timed to make you question reality. And when the next round came, she wasn't done scaring people yet. Then came the night that changed everything. She took the stage, and what followed had people screaming in real life. During the quarterfinals, Sacred Riana pushed her act further than ever before. She gave her voodoo doll to Mel B, then created an illusion where copies of herself, identical doubles, started rising from the audience. They swarmed the stage. It looked like Rihanna was multiplying, taking over. The crowd gasped. The judges were frozen. And then, just as the tension peaked, a loud scream tore through the air, and the show cut to a commercial. But the weirdest part? It never came back. When the broadcast returned, Rihanna was gone. No explanation, no continuation, just awkward judge comments and confusion. People at home thought it was a glitch. Fans waited for a full clip to be uploaded online. But the YouTube version was exactly the same, cut short at the scream. That's when rumors exploded. Some believed it was censorship, others thought she'd broken the show's rules. But the truth behind that cut would be even more shocking. Everyone thought the show had made a mistake, but it turns out it was all part of the plan. That commercial break, it was scripted, and it was meant to mess with your head. After that eerie performance got cut off mid-scream, fans flooded the internet with questions. Why didn't they show the ending? Was she disqualified? Did something go wrong? But then, a leaked document from the show's crew surfaced. It revealed the truth. Producers had intentionally planned the cut. It wasn't an error. It was strategy. They wanted the performance to blur the line between reality and illusion, to create buzz and make viewers talk. And they succeeded. But here's why that matters. Even though Rihanna didn't move on to the next round, her clip was the most viewed performance of the night. Over 1 million views in a few hours. No other act came close. Some say the stunt was a marketing trick. Others say it was sabotage. Either way, it made her unforgettable. The mystery, the confusion, the fear, it all played perfectly into her character. And while the show moved on, Rihanna had already won something bigger than a trophy, the internet's full attention. But maybe the real reason she didn't win? It had nothing to do with magic at all, because this might have been a case of cultural misunderstanding. Rihanna grew up in Indonesia, where horror looks very different from what American audiences expect. In Asia, horror is slow. It's quiet. It builds with spirits, legends, and long, eerie silences. There are no jump scares or blood, just dread. But in the US, viewers want big reactions, screams, gore, and in-your-face terror. That cultural gap might have worked against her. While she was performing what her fans back home saw as terrifying, some American viewers didn't find it scary at all. But hold that thought, because it connects to something even deeper. Even her magic style clashed with what US audiences are used to. In American shows, the trick is the main event. But in Asia, the story matters more. The magic is just a part of the experience. So when people didn't understand Rihanna's pacing or her silence, they voted for flashier acts. Some didn't even think she was doing real magic. But to her fans, she was telling a chilling story, and they were living inside it. That misunderstanding may have cost her the crown. She didn't stop after AGT. In fact, she went bigger. Because Sacred Riana had a plan, and Hollywood was next. In 2019, Rihanna took her eerie act to Britain's Got Talent, The Champions. But just like before, she didn't make it to the finals. Still, she didn't back down. She had something else in the works. That same year, she starred in her very own horror movie titled The Sacred Riana, Beginning. This wasn't a cameo. This was her story, her world, her style. And it hit hard. The trailer alone got over 3 million views. No other AGT contestant had ever done anything like it. But it doesn't stop there. In 2020, she landed a role in Disney's Stargirl, playing a character named Grace from Wonderwall. It was a small role, but a huge step. That same year, she also appeared twice on Masters of Illusion, keeping her creepy brand alive on national TV. She wasn't just doing tricks anymore. She was becoming a horror icon, a character people recognized, even if they didn't know her name. And what came next proved she was far from done haunting the spotlight. Even after all that, she still wasn't finished, because Sacred Riana refuses to disappear quietly. In 2022, she came back again, this time in the Sacred Riana 2, Bloody Mary, a sequel to her first film. It pushed her spooky image even further. She also returned to the spotlight on Indonesia's Got Talent, making a surprise appearance during another performer's finale. And as if that wasn't enough, she reached the semi-finals on La France et un incroyable talent. She was popping up all over the world, always in character, always terrifying, and fans loved it. But here's the twist. Off stage, she's nothing like the girl with the haunted doll. On her Facebook page, you'll find her smiling with her family, wearing regular clothes, looking totally normal. No black hair hiding her face, no twitchy movements, no whispering voice. She's just Riana. And maybe that's what makes it all so powerful. She steps into that character like flipping a switch. One moment she's an ordinary person, the next she's a living nightmare. And something tells us she's not done yet.